Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our headlines for tonight. Russia and Turkey have agreed to lift obstacles on Ukrainian commodity exports, plus National Fatwa Committee to scrutinize the first date of the first Shawwal, and doctors' strike failed to make impact nationwide. With me, Muhammad Yusuf, and you're now watching TVS Nightline. Our top story for tonight, Russia and Turkey has agreed to lift obstacles to ensure exports of Russian fertilizer and grain can be revamped. This will enable the United Nations UN-brokered deal of ensuring shipments from the Black Sea ports to be extended beyond next month. The agreement was made when Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and his Turkish counterpart Mevlut Cavusoglu met in Ankara earlier today.
Çerçevede NATO Dışişleri Bakanları toplantısı marjında mevkidaşlarım özellikle İngiltere ve ABD Dışişleri Bakanlarıyla da bu konuyu ele aldık ve bu tahıl anlaşmasının uzatılması için bu sorunların hepsinin giderilmesi. Bundan sonra da çabalarımız devam edecek. Bahar ayında tekrar bir tırmanma olacağına dair endişeleri biz de Türkiye olarak paylaşıyoruz.
The deal, which was agreed upon on July last year, will ensure safe transportation of grains and other commodities from Ukrainian ports despite being blocked by Russia's Navy force. Just last month, Russia said it will extend the deal for another 60 days, even though the UN, Ukraine and Turkey had pushed for a repeat 120-day rollover. Turkey, who is a member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO, now plays an important role as an intermediary between Kiev and Moscow since the conflict broke out about 13 months ago.
Now, following the announcement of the first day of AIDILFITRI by astronomers from the United Arab Emirates or UAE, the Malaysian Fatwa Committee will hold a discussion to finalize the date. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Datuk Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, said this is to prevent any last-minute surprises such as that the one happened last year.
Kita akan bincangkan di peringkat Jabatan Usul Fatwa apa dan sebagainya. Cuma saya dah seboleh-bolehnya kita nak mengelakkan apa yang berlaku pada tahun lepas tu tidak berulang supaya tidak terkejut. Di pihak kita cuba elakkan benda tu sebab penentuan apa tu bila raya dan sebagainya itu terletak pada kuasa ni kan. Jadi apa yang saya boleh nasihatkan, kita kena bersabarlah, cuma untuk memastikan ni di pihak apa tu badan berkuasa negeri kita akan cuba usahakan.
The declaration made by the keeper of the Great Seal of the Kings, which includes the report of the moon's observation, will be considered during the discussion. The International Astronomy Center in the UAE has announced that Islamic countries will observe the Hilal on April 20th to determine the beginning of the month of Shawwal, potentially the end of Ramadan. However, some countries in Asia, including Australia, may not be able to see the Shawwal new moon with the naked eye or using a special telescope. Most Islamic countries are expected to announce April 21st as the first day of AIDILFITRI. The state authorities will work towards ensuring accuracy in determining the date, and Naim advises patience and cooperation from the public.
About 8,000 to 12,000 contracted doctors have launched a strike from April 3rd to April 5th as an attempt to crush the nation's health service. Though the attempt failed to achieve the intended impact, as many practitioners have also rejected the strike, Minister of Health Dr. Zaliha Mustafa stated that the strike has motives of provocation and threats laced with other ulterior motives, since the people involved are willing to put the lives of many at risk.
As such, Fatima calls upon non-governmental organizations, NGOs and other relevant parties in promoting the concept of organ donation and increasing public awareness of its benefits. Fatima highlights the significant impact organ donation can have on patients, especially those who are suffering from chronic illnesses, such as kidney failure.
Contoh, saya beri contoh ya. Bagi pesakit buah pinggang, macam pihak media tahu kan, satu daripada bantuan yang diberikan oleh kerajaan ialah bantuan keuangan untuk pesakit buah pinggang. Dan untuk pesakit buah pinggang, selain daripada dialisis, sebaik-baiknya ialah kalau ada penderma buah pinggang yang compatible tu. Sebab dengan itu tidak lagi memerlukan proses dialisis 3 kali seminggu, and it's very costly.
During the blood donation program organised by the Sarawak Human Development Organisation PPIS in Kuching, Fatima hopes that such event will help increase the number of people who pledge to donate their organs and raise awareness of this life-saving practice.
Acara aktiviti seperti ini, kita berharap bilangan orang ramai yang tampil untuk buat pledge menderma organ mereka akan bertambah. Pada blood donation campaign bulan lepas telah tampil berapa tu? 5 orang, is it? 7 orang. Dan kita berharap pada hari ini bilangannya akan bertambah.
Fatima reiterated by pledging to donate their organs, members of the public can help save lives and reduce the burden on those in need of treatment.
Pardon for the technical issue. Now on to the next news. About 8,000 to 12,000 contracted doctors have launched a strike from April 3rd to April 5th as an attempt to crush the nation's health service. Though the attempt failed to achieve the intended impact as many practitioners have rejected the strike, Minister of Health Dr. Zaliha Mustafa stated that the strike has motives of provocation and threats, laced with other ulterior motives since the people involved are willing to put the lives of many at risk.
In a statement, Zaliha said a strike will never be the most effective way to address any rising problem, but instead resolution can be achieved through the right channel and platform professionally. She then thanked the commitment and high professionalism of health practitioners who place priority of patients above personal interest. Previously, the group known as Mogok Doktor Malaysia had planned to hold a strike for 3 days by not clocking in to work or by taking a sick or emergency leave on purpose. The group claimed that they have lost all hope from the Ministry of Health MOH, and some raised concerns over how the welfare of contract doctors are not well taken care of.
Now, district councils are urged to provide the best service to the people, especially in addressing problems faced by the people. Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said these problems should be handled proactively instead of waiting for complaints to be submitted.
Kita harus perhatikan mana yang dapat kata ini selesai, kita selesai. Dan mana yang perlu perancangan yang panjang, kita akan usahakan. Kita kerjasama. So, jangan tunggu orang buat aduan, jangan tunggu orang buat rumutan baru kita ambil tindakan. Tak boleh. Kita harus proaktif. We have to be proactive. Inilah yang diperlukan pada kita semua. Jadi terima kasih banyaklah. Terima kasih banyak. Dan kita mahu lawas ini akan terus membangun. Lawas ini akan menjadi satu tempat yang selamat untuk kita diami. Aman, makmur, sejahtera, masyarakat hidup dalam harmoni. Dan kita berusaha bagaimana untuk membangunkan lawas ini. Sebab itu kita perlu kerjasama. Kita mahu melaksanakan airport yang baru. Kita mahu juga ada pelabuhan yang baru.
He urged all parties involved to play their part as the facility is much anticipated by the people. The project was initially scheduled for completion by December of this year. However, it was reported that the 76-beds hospital have been deferred with a new deadline of December 11, 2024.
In other news, 4 families suffered devastating losses due to a raging fire in Limpaong village. But hope is on the horizon as aid and support have poured in from various sources. Deputy Minister of Food Industry, Commodities and Regional Development Sarawak, Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahman Ismail, has worked tirelessly to ensure that immediate assistance reaches the affected families.
He said the Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee (SDMC) has stepped in to provide help.
Dan saya telah pun meminta pegawai daerah untuk menyiasat bagaimana kita akan membantu untuk membangun semula rumah mereka lah, melalui SDMC Sarawak Disaster Management State Disaster Management SDMC, Jawatankuasa Bencana Negeri Sarawak, yang mana mereka ada peruntukan untuk membantu mangsa bencana ini seperti kebakaran, banjir dan sebagainya.
He told reporters when visiting the affected families in Limpaong village on Thursday. In addition, government departments, non-governmental organizations, private associations and voluntary organizations are working together to provide aid such as food, clothing, sleeping equipment and house building materials.
Dipahamkan pihak Jabatan Kebajikan telah pun memberi bantuan berupa makanan, pakaian dan juga alat untuk tidur seperti tilam bantal dan sebagainya. Mereka juga dalam proses untuk memberi bantuan peralatan membina rumah barulah. Itu Jabatan Kebajikan. Baitul Mal telah pun menghulurkan bantuan dari segi wang ringgit mengikut bilangan keluarga. Setiap keluarga menerima hampir 2,000 daripada tabung Baitul Mal. Begitu juga dengan persatuan-persatuan lain yang hari ini juga menyumbang, iaitu Persatuan Melayu Limbah daripada Jawatankuasa Kemajuan Kampung Petiambun juga menyumbang. Daripada Bulan Sabit Merah dipahamkan telah pun menyumbang juga.
The incident occurred on Tuesday, April 4th, when a fire destroyed 2 residences in Limpaong village.
Nangka State Legislative Assembly Dun Service Centre, in a collaborative effort with the Nangka PBB youth, have donated 23 canopies to 13 Ramadan Bazaar vendors at Dataran Tun Tuanku Bujang Phase 2, who were left reeling from the storm that struck on Wednesday, April 5th. Deputy Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, Datuk Dr. Anwar Rapai, said this has lauded efforts, stating that it aims to reignite the spirit of entrepreneurship among the affected, with only 2 weeks left until AIDILFITRI.
Kanopi biru ini sebenarnya tidak begitu kuat, sebab itu dia mudah diterbangkan oleh angin semalam. Tapi walau bagaimanapun mereka terpaksa juga meneruskan perniagaan ini, tinggal 14 hari lagi untuk mencari rezeki. Jadi pusat khidmat pada hari ini bersama dengan pemuda PBB turun untuk memberi bantuan kanopi secara percuma kepada mereka.
At the same time, Anwar also calls on the multiracial community of Cebu, including those from the surrounding districts, to come together and enjoy the Sungkei Lan Berambe at Dataran Tun Tuanku Bujang Phase 1 on April 8th.
Dan saya jemput dan bukan saja masyarakat Cebu yang berbilang bangsa, tetapi juga seluruh masyarakat di sekitar Cebu dari Serikir, Matu, Darul, Mukah, sama-sama kita berbuka puasa di dataran yang merupakan suatu program ataupun majlis yang terbesar di bulan Ramadan ini, dan kita boleh membeli jodah di sini, barang makanan di bazar Ramadan di dataran. Lepas itu kita bersama-sama berbuka puasa, dan saya harap ini akan sedikit sebanyak dapat membantu para pengusaha kita yang telah ditimpa bencana semalam, untuk memberi semangat kepada mereka untuk meneruskan perniagaan pada baki 2 minggu lagi untuk kita sebelum menyambut Hari Raya AIDILFITRI.
The Ramadan Bazaar traders who were affected by the recent storms are grateful for the immediate assistance.
So alhamdulillah YB hari tu ada murid kemah ke nyambung berjual balik. So harap masa akan datang saya lagi apa-apa dugaan. Harap lancar lah, cuaca cerah apa semua. Dia harap selepas kemah diberi YB tu kami orang dapat meneruskan perniagaan seperti biasa. So harap memudahkan lagi lah sebab mana dah untung mari beli baru modal besar tak. So harap terima kasih lah YB apa memberi kemah dapat meneruskan perniagaan balik.
Harapan kami mudahan dia kena bisnes habis tu jualan kena tok kelakar lepas tu mudahan maju lurus je lah sebab kami orang kena angin tu yang kali ketiga dah sebenarnya. Pertama, kedua kami orang tanggung ni pun dan ketiga syukur alhamdulillah pihak YB dapat nolong dan bantuannya pun segera sampai jadi kami orang pun mula bisnes seperti biasa lah, macam biasa. Ya, insyaAllah mudahan saya dapat pagi lah lepas tu rezeki pun diharap macam biasalah. Ya.
Syukur, terima kasih banyak-banyak dengan YB bantu kami. Bui kami kemah, pakai kami dagang, habis hancur. Yang semua di belakang. Ialah nak doanya supaya jangan berlaku lagi. Semualah.
Coming up right after the break, Malaysia will continue to send contingents to Paris Olympics despite boycott by other countries, and Israel launches airstrikes on Gaza. All that and more right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the government has announced a special financial aid for AIDILFITRI that will benefit a total of 3.5 million recipients nationwide. This will include civil servants, government pensioners, farmers, small rubber planters, fishermen, members of the Malaysian Volunteer Department or volunteers, volunteers of the Public Defence Forces, APM, police and fire volunteers. Deputy Minister of Finance Datuk Seri Ahmad Maslan said it will be distributed on April 17th.
The total allocation for the aid is 1.572 billion ringgit. Civil servants will receive 700 ringgit with an allocation of 988 million ringgit, while 1 million government pensioners will receive 350 ringgit with an allocation of 350 million ringgit. Farmers, small rubber planters and fishermen will each receive 200 ringgit, while members of the Malaysian Volunteer Department, APM, and police and fire volunteers will receive 300 ringgit.
What's on the menu for Sungkeh Arito? Now, every year during the month of Ramadan, we are reminded of the rich cultural traditions that mark this time of the year. You can be sure that a variety of traditional pastries are being sold at bazaars to be enjoyed during the breaking of fast. And in Kuching, for example, one of the most popular sweet treats is none other than the putu mayung, a delicious blend of rice flour and palm sugar.
Muhammad Abu Amin Abu Bakar, the seller of putu mayung, noted that during the month of Ramadan, there is an increase in demand for putu mayung. Not many vendors are selling the delectable treat in the city of unity.
Mayung itu adalah sebenarnya sebuah makanan India. Jadi pada masa itu amat jarang untuk menemukan pengusahanya lah. Jadi amat rare lah di Kuching tu. Sebabnya menjadikan tarikan utama terutama di bulan Ramadan tu.
Muhammad Abu shared that the recipe for the putu mayung he sells had been passed down from his father, Pak Abu, who started selling the dish back in 2006. Since then, the popularity of their family's putu mayung has grown within the Kuching community. Although the ingredients are readily available, making putu mayung is a time-consuming process that takes from morning until noon. In order to speed up the process, he has ordered a special machine from the peninsula, which he hopes will help him keep up with the high demand for his family's beloved recipe.
Prosesannya agak rumit sebabnya adalah dia buat daripada satu bentuk, dia bulat. Jadi dia ada mesin khas untuk buatnya. Nah, itu mensukarkan untuk orang lain buatlah.
Putu mayung is typically served and sold with a grated coconut and brown sugar. The combination of both flavors makes it a popular dish for breaking fast among the Kuchingites.
On to our next news. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has extended 200 ringgit of e-wallet credit to all university students nationwide. He hopes the students will be able to fully utilize it for any expenditures related to their studies.
Saya akan putuskan supaya e-wallet itu boleh dimanfaatkan oleh semua mahasiswa.
This was announced during a dialogue session with students of University Technology Mara UiTM on Friday. The issue was raised by the Students' Council MPP of UiTM Malacca after finding out that the 2023 budget presented by Anwar previously included an e-wallet aid of 200 ringgit for students aged 18 to 20, making those who are not in the age group as well as single adults equally unqualified to receive the aid.
Now, Anwar will be discussing with Transport Minister Anthony Loke on the possibility of introducing cheap flight tickets for university students as the Hari Raya Aidilfitri season approaches. Anwar said flight tickets might be an issue to some families due to the high costs.
Tiket penerbangan saya baru ni Menteri Pengangkutan Anthony Loke ada sebut tentang penambahan dan pengurangan semasa cuti raya ni. Tetapi ini keluar daripada skop kerajaan, melainkan kena bagi subsidi lah. Subsidi tiket ni untuk students ni make sense lah. Mungkin kita kena runding dengan syarikat penerbangan.
Anwar, during a dialogue session with University Technology Mara UiTM Shah Alam students today. Anwar was responding to a question by a student on whether the government has plans to introduce cheaper flight tickets, given that airfares from Sabah and Sarawak were priced exorbitantly at times. Anwar acknowledged that flight tickets may be an issue to some families due to a high cost.
Tapi maknanya saya terima lah ini satu masalah. Ya, kerana keluarga yang dari Sabah Sarawak atau dari sini yang ke Sabah Sarawak tidak semua keluarga yang senang dan mungkin terbeban kalau kos terlalu tinggi. Umpamanya kos di Sarawak saja, di antara Sarawak Miri ke Kuching itu terlalu mahal.
Now, Malaysia will continue to send its contingents to the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, despite threats by some countries to boycott the world's biggest multi-sports event. Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh said politics and sports should not intervene with each other, and that decision was made in line with the International Olympic Committee's IOC by the Road Goal RTG Committee.
Hannah believed the national athletes would give their best in search of glory for Malaysia, who are still hunting for their first ever Olympics gold. Several countries, including the United States, Germany and Australia, have reportedly threatened to boycott the 2024 Olympics following the IOC's decision to allow Russian and Belarusian athletes to compete in Paris.
Now, over in world news, tensions continue to escalate following Israeli forces storming of the Al-Aqsa Masjid in occupied East Jerusalem earlier this week. In the latest development, Israel's military has launched air raids on Gaza after a spate of rocket launches and now says it is striking in Lebanon.
Hours earlier, explosion rocked Gaza after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned in a video statement that his country's enemies would pay a price for any aggression. At this time, there are no immediate reports of casualties or injuries in either Lebanon or Gaza. The latest round of airstrikes come at a time of escalating tensions following Israeli troops storming the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. The troops fired stun grenades, attacked Palestinian worshippers, and expelled them from the holy site as they gathered for Ramadan prayers. Ramadan this year coincides with Passover, a key holiday in the Jewish calendar, as well as the Christian festival of Easter. The attacks on Gaza and Lebanon came after Israel said it was targeted by rockets. The Israeli military said 34 rockets have been fired from Lebanon on Thursday, with 25 intercepted and at least 4 landing inside the country. Israel has indicated that the rocket fire from Lebanon originated from Hamas or another Gaza-based group. No organization has yet claimed responsibility. Hamas, meanwhile, responded to the air attacks with a statement saying, "We hold the Zionist occupation fully responsible for the grave escalation and the flagrant aggression against the Gaza Strip and for the consequences that will bring onto the region."
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates, both locally and internationally. Just a click away by heading on to our website at www.tvstv.my or by following us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. Once again, my name is Muhammad Yusuf. Thank you for watching. Good night and Assalamualaikum.